Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Toronto General Hospital, part of University Health Network. See so many friends out here in the audience today, and want to welcome our Premier, our Deputy Premier, and our Minister here today. So welcome to UHN yet again. I also want to recognize a number of Board of Trustee members who are here with us today. And of course, in doing so, we stand before you with a profound honor at a pivotal moment on what we believe is something that will allow us to shape the future of health research and innovation and unlock truly new opportunities in Canada and around the world. What we're beginning today is a seminal step in a truly science-based economic diversification. Here at UHN, which is Canada's largest research hospital, we're very humbled to be ranked number 3 in the world by Newsweek. We're home to more than 6,000 people who make up our research enterprise. They earn their living by undertaking research and by supporting world-class research that changes how we care for patients. All of these individuals are working on the front line of the very best of discovery. At UHN today, we are undertaking over 1,600 clinical trials, and that is literally just steps away from where we're gathered today. And nearly 20 life science companies have already been born out of UHN's innovation, not just as a center of healing for patients, but a global engine of invention and discovery. We know there is an incredible opportunity to supercharge our Canadian economy through bold investment in science and technology. And when you look around the world, the evidence is absolutely clear. Nations that invest in science don't just lead in innovation, they lead in prosperity. In Canada, we must also confront a critical truth right here at home. Innovation cannot thrive without a strong and sustainable health system at its foundation. The fragility of our healthcare system represents Canada's single largest annual expenditure. We spend over $400 billion a year in Canada on healthcare. Yet a very significant portion of that is spent on technologies, pharmaceuticals, and supplies that are not manufactured in Canada. We have to ask ourselves, why not? Why are we not reaping the full economic benefits of our own discoveries? Canada is the birthplace of insulin at the University of Toronto and University Health Network. It was given to a 14-year-old named Leonard Thompson for the very first time in the history of our world, right here at Toronto General Hospital. Since then, it has literally saved hundreds of millions of lives. Today, the largest 3 producers of insulin are headquartered in Denmark, the United States, and France. Imagine if this commercial success of insulin can and should stay in Canada. That would mean we would see more funding reinvested in our fragile healthcare system, more funding for research, better care, stronger infrastructure, and as importantly, remarkable jobs for your children and family members. That's the opportunity in front of us today, to ensure the next global breakthroughs not only start here in Ontario, but also benefit Canadians first. Also that they can create wonderful jobs, prosperity, a stronger tax base, and protect our most cherished program, our universal healthcare system. If we want to turn promising research into widespread prosperity, we need deliberate action, and we must act now, so we are. After World War II, the United States didn't become the global superpower by chance. They made bold, historic investments in science, research, and innovation, backed by smart policies, tax incentives, and a clear focus on economic growth and home-based manufacturing. That strategy built millions of jobs, it built the middle class, and it raised the standard of living for generations. At its peak, the US federal government was investing 50 times more than Canada in research and research-directed initiatives. Based on populations, that should not be more than 10 times. We must close that gap. Our goal must be clear: $10 billion a year in federal investment through organizations like the CIHR. That's $250 per Canadian per year. It's a big ask. I don't want to color candy coat that. But it's the smartest investment we can make for jobs, for growth, for our future, and for an amazing healthcare system that can continue. If we want true prosperity and independence, we need to build the Canadian version of the system I just described. Right here, right now. As others pull back, Canada must step up. Today, UHN is very proud to launch Canada Leads. I suspect you picked that up already. This is our first step in a plan to make UHN the destination of choice for the world's top scientific minds, in addition to the many, many, many colleagues we are fortunate to have attracted to UHN and the University of Toronto. We must build the conditions for them to succeed, not only at discovery, but for translating that with the private sector and our government partners into products and services made in Canada. At the heart of Canada Leads is the Canada Leads 100 Challenge. Our commitment to recruit 100 new world-class early career scientists to join the amazing team of researchers and those who support them that are already making global impact at UHN, U of T, and the Tassin hospitals across our wonderful region. And today we're getting started with support from the UHN Foundation, an initial $15 million down payment on that future. Together, our UHN and Princess Margaret Foundations will secure the funding for 100 new scientists. Along with 2 years of support to supercharge their research and their careers, we'll be providing them coaching, mentorship, and training from leading entrepreneurs. And we know that that is an important component of this announcement. They will not only understand, but create an ecosystem and possess the skills to translate research results into products and services that can be manufactured in Ontario, in Canada first. Our goal, in partnership with the UHN Foundation and the Princess Margaret Foundation, is to attract the direct and indirect resources needed to truly spawn a biotechnology explosion. We have an even greater ambition for Canada. Our aspiration and appeal to partner organizations across our nation is to see the recruitment of 1,000 similar colleagues to the ones I've described, promising young scientists who will cultivate a vibrant, thriving science-based economy that translates world-leading discoveries to support early access to the newest health interventions for Canadians and to create exponential economic spin-off in manufacturing, biotechnology, and commercialization. This is our future, and it can be Canada's future if we choose to lead. But science can't do this alone. Academic hospitals and universities are only one part of the equation. We need stronger partnerships with our private sector colleagues, with government, and with industry. We need the private sector to be true partners, and we need to learn how to be better partners with them, to recognize the enormous opportunity in health research and to invest in a true innovation-based economy. And just as critically, we need government to create the conditions for private investment to thrive, reduce taxation, streamlined regulation, and a welcoming environment for capital, talent, and enterprise. Investment goes where it's most welcome. We're very fortunate to have Premier Ford here today, and I want to thank he and his government, our ministers who are with us as well, for their unbridled support. We couldn't ask for a more enthusiastic partner. Premier Ford is putting his money where his mouth is with the life sciences strategy, and we look forward to evolving with the minister where that strategy can take us and how it will help us realize these results. So with that, Premier and ministers, I know you wouldn't be surprised that I might in the future have a few little asks that I come and see you about. No meeting would be complete without that. For your continued commitment to advancing health research and innovation in Ontario, it will continue to help position our province and our people for long-term success. While a federal election is underway, our commitment remains steadfast. We look forward to working with the Government of Canada, the government Canadians will choose on April the 28th, to build a bold, collaborative vision for health research, innovation, and economic growth. I'm encouraged to hear all party leaders embracing bold ideas and the need for transformative investment leading to economic independence, few of us would debate this must be our path. Of course, we're always driven here at UHN for curing illness. And these directions are absolutely about making sure that cures, treatments occur. But it's also about creating technologies that are invented here and made here, scaled and exported to the world from here, with the benefits coming to Ontario and to Canada. We're not just recruiting more top-tier scientists. That is what we and our partners at the university do each and every day. We're building a best-in-the-world science ecosystem with competitive funding to power discovery, with mentorship and commercialization to support and help researchers bring their ideas to market. This is not only our chance to lead, but to protect Canada and Canadians. One day, sadly, another pandemic will come. Today, unfortunately, we're watching the resurgence of measles, a disease we once cured. We must be ready. We must be self-sufficient, and we must never again be caught on our back foot. Today, you're sitting in the heart of Toronto's Discovery District, arguably the most diverse, talent-rich data corridor on the planet, with universities, Toronto's remarkable teaching hospitals, a vibrant Bay Street, and an outstanding partner at Queen's Park. There is no better place to invest. There is no better time to act. Let's ensure that the next great Canadian discovery isn't a footnote in someone else's economy, but a pillar of our own prosperity. The time is now for Canada to lead. It's my pleasure now to ask Mr. Cornell Wright, Deputy Chair of the Board of Directors at University Health Network, to introduce our Premier.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today. I bring greetings on behalf of the entire UHN Board of Trustees, including our Chair, Dean Connor, who sends regrets and is unable to join us today. This is an incredible day here at UHN and what promises to be the catalyst for igniting a broader science-based economy to drive both wealth and health for our country. Of course, making this possible is partnership at all levels. I want to recognize the vital role that philanthropy plays in what we do and how integral our foundations and our donors have been and continue to be in making Canada's #1 hospital and the world's top publicly funded hospital. Speaking of that public support, it's an honor to welcome Premier Doug Ford, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health Sylvia Jones, and Minister Nolan Quinn, Minister of Colleges and Universities, Research Excellence and Security. Thank you, all three of you, for taking the time to be here and for standing with us as we embark on this exciting opportunity for Canada. I have the great privilege this morning of introducing a man who really needs no introduction. The Honourable Doug Ford, the MPP for Etobicoke North, is Ontario's 26th Premier. And as we have seen over these recent tumultuous months, he's one of the staunchest, strongest, most reliable defenders of the interests of Ontario and of Canada. He has represented Canadian interests south of the border, protecting not only Ontarians but all of Canadians and expressing how all of us feel. And at home, he's been leading the way in bringing Canadian premiers together around the importance of reducing trade barriers between provinces. Premier, when I saw you in that snazzy Canada Leads hockey sweater, I thought how appropriate it was. The only thing that would have been more fitting would be for your jersey to have a big C on the chest to reflect the immeasurable leadership you're providing as our very own Captain Canada. We are very grateful to have you here today, offering your continued support for UHN and for healthcare in this province. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Premier Doug Ford.
Well, Cornell, first of all, thank you. Thank you for your leadership and the very kind words. And I always say it's Team Canada. and we're strong. Team Canada, we're resilient people. We're strong. We're gonna fight like we've never fought before. But first of all, Your Honor, thank you for coming. Thank you for always being a supporter. And I just have a phenomenal relationship with Her Honor, and it's going to carry on for many years to come. And so nice to see you again. It's always a pleasure to be here at UHN and visit the team right here at Toronto General. And I have to tell you, I'm gonna get to my champion here in a minute with Kevin, but I want to introduce my great Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, my right-hand person. We call Sylvia the General, and she's the General. And thank you for everything you do day in and day out. And so I come walking in, and they're downstairs, and Sylvia and Nolan, which I'm going to introduce in a second, they're outside, and everyone's in the boardroom. And I said, Sylvia, why are you outside? Well, I'm hiding from Kevin because it costs me $1 billion every time I see him. And that's, you know something, thank God we have Kevin. And we're here with Nolan Quinn, the Minister of Colleges, Universities. And I love how we add names all the time. So it was Ministry of Colleges and Universities. Now it's the Minister of Colleges, Universities, Research Excellence, and Security. You got to tell me about the security part. I don't know how that fits in. But anyways, before I begin, I want to give a big thank you to my good friend, Dr. Kevin Smith, and we consider him a great friend, not only for the province and the country, but to our family as well. And just the amazing team of doctors and nurses and researchers and support staff who work tirelessly around the clock every single day to keep people safe and healthy. You know, UHN has been an incredible partner to our government as one of the top research hospitals in the world, providing care for over 1 million patients. I don't think people understand 1 million patients coming through the doors every single year from every corner of the province. That's the other thing. People think it's just, you know, the GTA. It's from all over the province. People are coming here. And that's why we're just so thrilled with UHN's announcement today. And again, Kevin, thank you. Because Kevin's mind, I think everyone knows him, never stops. It's constantly going, what am I going to do next? What's the next investment? And I always say it's an investment, best investment we could ever put our tax dollars to work there. You know, to recruit world-leading scientists to join the fantastic team here at UHN. And we're going to put an ad together. We have one on hold, as telling the team before we came out here, that, you know, we're going to go on many fronts to fight these tariffs, but one way to win big time is to get the brightest minds in the United States to come to the greatest sub-sovereign nation in the world, and that's Ontario. And we'll be running those ads, and I can tell you, it's you know, the president won't be happy as we could, you know, call it the brain drain to the greatest country in the world, and that's Canada. And that's not just in healthcare, but in every single sector. You know, the research done by these recruits will attract investment, grow the economy, as you were mentioning, and position right here at UHN as the place where innovation and breakthroughs happen. You know, you were saying about insulin, but there's so many other breakthroughs that we have to get out and market to the world, saying this is the greatest place to join UHN. Not only changing the lives of patients here in Ontario, but benefiting people right around the world. Folks, Ontario is already leading the way in developing the best health research talent in the nation. Think of this, 19 out of Canada's top 40 research hospitals are located right here in Ontario, with UHN as the #1 anywhere in the country. We're also building our workforce of physicians through programs like Practice Ready Ontario, licensing foreign trained doctors quicker so they can start practicing sooner in this province. I had an opportunity to meet a doc from Florida. He was up visiting family, and You know, he came here, and then he ended up moving down to the U.S. So he has a practice in California, and he's saying, I'm itching to come back, but there's so much paperwork and red tape to get back there. You know, one call to my great minister, and we're moving that forward. We're going to clean up all the paper and red tape, and you know, we know if they've graduated here in Canada and then moved down there, or graduated from one of the great medical schools in the U.S., if they're good enough to practice there, they're good enough to come here, and we're doing that for doctors and nurses. Part of our strategy is also to grow Ontario's life science sector. We've seen over $6 billion of investment come to our province. And for this province to serve as the #1 destination on the planet for the best and brightest young medical minds. Global pharma giants like Moderna, Roche, Sanofi, Teva, and AstraZeneca are either setting up new facilities in the province or expanding their existing operations. Ontario's life science sector has become a key economic driver, creating more than 72,000 good-paying jobs, a number that can only go higher with partners like UHN leading the way. I want to thank you once again. I want to thank my good friend Dr. Kevin Smith and the whole team here at UHN for taking such bold action to continue building talent that we need to ensure Ontario is standing at the forefront of innovative, life-saving medical research for generations to come. I want to thank each and every one of you in the crowd here, the donors. This wouldn't happen without the philanthropists that live in Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. We're very, very grateful, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much. I did it again. I was supposed to, you know, I cut it out. Sometimes I don't pay attention to the paddles. The toughest job is to be the person that's doing the teleprompter because I'm all over the map. General, I apologize. The greatest Deputy Premier, the greatest Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Premier, for that late-breaking introduction. It is wonderful to be back at University Health Network Toronto's General Hospital. I want to thank Dr. Kevin Smith and your entire team at Toronto General Hospital and across UHN for the incredible network of world-leading hospitals, for all you do to deliver high-quality, connected care to families across Ontario each and every day. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government is making record investments in healthcare. We are championing innovation and taking bold action to provide more people with the right care in the right place. And we are starting to see results. We're expanding hospital capacity across Ontario, increasing funding to modernize hospital infrastructure, and adding 49 new MRI and 50 new CT machines across the province, connecting almost 500,000 people more per year for diagnostic imaging services. We are enhancing digital tools and solutions to make it more convenient for providers and patients to access health information. And we are championing best-in-class models of primary care teams to connect every person in Ontario with a primary care provider by 2029 through our Primary Care Action Team. And we're leading the way in the production of life-saving medical isotopes like Pluvecto, a new publicly funded treatment for advanced stage prostate cancer that was researched and trialed by UHN Theranostics program, and is now being administered here at Toronto General Hospital. Today's announcement works hand in hand with our success the government has been achieving by leveraging innovation and collaboration to deliver more connected and convenient care for generations of Ontarians to come. Today is the first step of many and we look forward to seeing the results, as we know the Canada Leads 100 Challenge will deliver. It's now my pleasure to invite Minister Nolan Quinn to say a few words. Thank you, everyone. Stay well.
Thank you, Minister Jones, for that kind introduction. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here alongside Premier Ford, Minister Jones, and our credible partners at University Health Network. Ontario is recognized across the globe as a leading destination for performing groundbreaking research. As the Minister of Colleges, Universities, Research Excellence, and Security, it brings me great pride to see the incredible discoveries made in our own backyard. From cancer treatments to brain health, to vaccine development, Ontario truly is an epicenter for innovation that drives our economy and improves the lives of people in our communities across Canada, which is why our government continues to take bold action to attract, invest in, and protect critical research right here in Ontario. Since 2018, under the leadership of Premier Ford, we have invested over $831 million in more than 1,500 research projects across the province. This year alone, we're investing $277 million to support research at colleges, universities, and Ontario's world-class research institutions. Our strategic investments in research have supported the training of more than 120,000 workers, established more than 400 new patents, and created almost 600 new careers, and brought billions of dollars of investments to our province. Because our government knows that when we invest in research, we invest in the province's future, a future that is strong, healthy, and prosperous. But none of that would be possible without our research partners like University Health Network. By upholding a strong standard of excellence and innovation, UHN is ensuring that our province remains an incredible place to perform research and a global leader across critical sectors, which is why I couldn't be more thrilled to take part in today's announcement. The ambitious Canada Leads 100 Challenge will recruit the best and the brightest researchers to our province, further driving Ontario-made discoveries, creating more jobs, and attracting more investment. I look forward to the groundbreaking Made in Ontario discoveries that will come from this initiative. And I thank everyone at UHN for their partnership in building a stronger Ontario. With that, I'd like to invite Dr. Brad Waters, Executive President, Science and Research at UHN, up to the podium. Dr. Waters plays a critical role in fostering the research environment that incentivizes, facilitates, and rewards excellence. I commend him for his dedication to our sector. Dr. Waters.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure you've noticed our Canadian jerseys. They're hard to miss. They look pretty good. I think it's clear that we're all playing for Team Canada. And in true hockey spirit, this isn't just about showing up. It's about taking a shot, making an assist, and moving research forward together as a single team. As UHN's Executive Vice President of Science and Research, I am privileged to share the stage with all of you and address you at a moment that we feel is going to define the future of research and healthcare here in Ontario and in Canada. And today we are reaffirming our commitment to science, to innovation, and to a healthier, stronger, and more prosperous Canada. As Kevin mentioned, we have over 6,000 individuals here at UHN in our research community. It continues to grow each year, and this team is working at the cutting edge of science, using state-of-the-art infrastructure, making advances in genomics, artificial intelligence, and in clinical research. You heard from Kevin that we have over 1,600 active clinical trials at UHN that are translating those discoveries into patient impact and solidifying UHN as a global leader in health research. But UHN is also part of an incredibly rich scientific community here in Toronto and around Ontario, together with the University of Toronto and other strong academic hospitals that are part of the TASN network. This community was ranked last year as the #2 life science research university hub in the world. But we're also at a really pivotal moment. Around the world, other countries are making strategic, bold investments in research and innovation, and they see the potential this has for their countries. If we look to our neighbors in the United States, their thriving life sciences sector, which has been the envy of the world for decades, did not happen by chance. It was the result of decades of international recruitment, intentional and robust investment in research and development, and a strategy that has attracted the best and brightest minds from around the world to come to the United States to be able to deliver and do research in that environment. And that has created enormous payoff for the United States. New discoveries that are translated into new companies, into new jobs, entire new sectors, and an extremely strong commitment and output for their economy. But Canada has all the ingredients to take advantage of where we're at in this pivotal moment with changes that are happening around the world. World-class talent, top-tier institutions, and a track record of excellence. And what we really need now is a bigger ambition. We need to scale, we need to take action, and we need to lead. This is our opportunity to help build a future-proof economy, one where research is not just a scientific pursuit, but part of a larger national strategy for health, for prosperity, and for global competitiveness. And if we want to lead, we must invest like leaders, and we must act like leaders. And that's how we secure Canada's place on the world stage and create lasting impact for generations to come. As you also heard at UHN, we're not just advancing discovery, we're also advancing impact. Our commitment to support commercialization means that when innovation happens, it doesn't stop at the lab bench. It moves forward into clinical trials, into companies, and into communities. And our experience has shown that the intellectual property created through discovery research has the potential to seed new Canadian companies that can drive job creation and bolster our economy. Our efforts, as you heard, have already fueled the formation of 20 life science ventures, generating over $1 billion in investment into those companies, and with multi-billion-dollar exits with significant licensing revenues back to UHN. From early cancer detection through next-generation liquid biopsies to regenerative medicine breakthroughs that are rewriting the future for neurodegenerative disease, our pipeline is strong and expanding. In digital health, we're leading with AI-powered solutions that are today enhancing patient care through remote monitoring and reducing hospitalizations. Our organ transplant innovations and cancer immunotherapies are setting new global standards and moving through international clinical trials. And these are not just isolated wins. They're proof that what's possible when a health system backs its science with infrastructure, with talent, and with a commitment to seeing ideas through to implementation. And while we've built a solid record in translating cutting-edge science into a commercial enterprise, as you heard from Kevin, we must do more to protect those breakthroughs and ensure they remain here in Canada, fueling high-value manufacturing jobs and propelling our innovation economy. The Canada Leads 100 Challenge is our bold commitment to recruit 100 world-class early career scientists to UHN. This includes attracting top-tier international talent, as well as Canadian scientists that in the past may have considered other foreign options. And this initiative is not just a recruitment drive. It's our pledge to infuse new ideas and new directions from the brightest young minds into our research pipeline to further accelerate discoveries that can deliver tangible benefits to patients and our economy. And this is just the beginning. With this announcement, we also aim to inspire a much larger national initiative to invest in science and research in Canada like never before, kickstarting a cascade of strategic investments that will fuel talented scientists across Canada. Canada stands at an inflection point. We have an opportunity to build a future science-driven economy. It's an opening for Canada to lead, and we're starting that here today. And with that, I'd like to introduce Julie Quinn, the President and CEO of our UHN Foundation, who's going to share a little bit about the resounding support we've already received when we put out the call to invite strategic initiatives to accelerate this initiative. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Premier Ford, Minister Jones, and Minister Quinn, honored guests. UHN Foundation is really proud to support the strategy to bring home some of the world's brightest minds to our hospital. Some of the top scientists are looking for a new home right now, and we want UHN and Canada to seize this opportunity to become their place of choice. UHN is the #3 best hospital in the world, but it's actually the #1 best hospital outside of the United States, and it's all because of our incredible people. To ignite this transformational opportunity, our foundation has already secured $15 million in philanthropic investment, and I want to thank our incredible donors who you will meet in a few minutes. We're now calling on our community and our partner at Princess Margaret Cancer Center Foundation to match this incredible investment so that we can build together a $30 million investment for Canada Leads and to recruit within the next few months 100 new scientists to UHN. This philanthropic investment will give scientists startup costs, laboratory space, equipment, support staff, but more important, this stable and secure runway of support will allow these scientists to be agile and to pursue big, bold ideas. Once these scientists gain momentum, they can attract peer-reviewed grants from other sources. This will have, as you've heard from Dr. Waters, a multiplier effect. As their discoveries get translated into therapies for our patients, this knowledge can be commercialized and will fuel Ontario's innovation engine. We can build local jobs, generate returns on our investments for UHN, Ontario, and for Canada. Philanthropy is absolutely key to making UHN Canada's #1 hospital, and of course, the destination of choice for new top talent. I want to take this opportunity to thank the incredible families who have donated the $15 million in seed funding that allows us to kick off Canada Leads today. Now, I will ask these families to please stand up to be recognized and remain standing, and please hold your applause until the end. Deb Barrett and Jim Leach, the Myron and Berna Guerin Foundation, John D'Angelo, Giuseppe Mao, and Claudio Meme, please stand. Fred Eaton, the FDC Foundation, Ellen and Todd Halpern, Donald K. Johnson, Alec Kreshtik, Rob and Cheryl McEwen, Nadir and Shabin Mohammed, Larry and Judy Tannenbaum Family Foundation, and finally, the Wolf Lubovic and Harry Lubovic. Thank you so much to all of you. Philanthropy makes the difference between quality and excellence. It funds innovation and big, bold ideas. Philanthropy is also essential to the recruitment and the retention of top talent. And as patients, we all want to see only the very best when we are sick and when our loved ones are sick. So now we're calling on all Canadians to join us and transform healthcare right here in Canada, which will have impact on medicine all around the world. I want to thank Premier Ford for his incredible leadership in healthcare, for recognizing the opportunity for us to be the place of choice for top talent, and of course for helping us to honor the generosity of our incredible community. And thank all of you for joining us. Now, without further ado, I have the honor of introducing our partner at Princess Margaret Cancer Center, the President and CEO, Mio Yamashita. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Mio Yamashita, the President and CEO of the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. And on behalf of our community at the Princess Margaret, we are so proud to support the Canada Leads initiative to recruit and retain the very best and brightest scientists in cancer, dedicated to our mission to create a world free from the fear of cancer. Now, cancer, unfortunately, is Canada's leading cause of death, with 2 in 5 Canadians receiving a cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. And sadly, cancer cases are also rising dramatically. The World Health Organization has predicted a 77% increase in new cancer cases, including right here in Ontario, by the year 2050. And the generation with the fastest rising cancer rates is actually millennials. Now, fortunately, we have a strong record of recruitment and retention, including global recruitment and retention, through the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. In fact, over 40% of our oncology scientists at UHN come from outside Canada. And fortunately, through the work of these and other scientists, we've been helping Canada lead in cancer, carrying the fires of innovation, determination, creativity, and hope for over 70 years now at the Princess Margaret, with world-first discoveries like stem cells, which are the basis for bone marrow transplants, the world's first lumpectomy combined with radiation, replacing radical mastectomies as a standard of care for millions of people with breast cancer around Canada and around the world, the cloning of the T-cell receptor, the basis for immunotherapy, now the standard of care and a cure for dozens of cancers, and the world's first chemotherapy for hormone-resistant prostate cancer. At UHN, over half of clinical trials are in cancer. And as Dr. Kevin Smith has noted, there is so much more potential. And I thank our government and academic partners, who I'm going to introduce shortly, for supporting us in this endeavor. But recognizing that oncology is the largest therapeutic area in drug development in the world, accounting for 45% of the $200 billion spent annually in R&D by pharma, we've made investments at the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation in cancer commercialization, receiving $53 million in commercial returns between 2015 and 2024 as a result of these investments made possible through our donors. Now, that's an average of $9.5 million per year over the last 5 years in cancer commercialization, to be reinvested here at UHN in Made in Canada IP and better treatments for cancer patients. At the Princess Margaret, we talk about imagining a world free from the fear of cancer. And to that list, we add a world not only that's free from the fear of cancer, but a world that is more prosperous and more secure for all Ontarians and all Canadians. And on that note, it's my pleasure to introduce our final speaker today, Dr. Lisa Robinson, Dean of the Temerity Faculty of Medicine at U of T, the former head of the Division of Nephrology at SickKids, and a senior scientist in the Cell Biology Program at the SickKids Research Institute. Dr. Robinson, thank you to you and your colleagues at U of T for helping Canada lead, for creating a healthy world at UHN, and a world free from the fear of cancer for everyone.
Well, thank you so much, and good afternoon. It is such an honor to be here on behalf of the Temerity Faculty of Medicine and the University of Toronto, standing alongside our close partners at UHN to mark the launch of Canada Leads. U of T and UHN are recognized globally as leaders in science, in research, and education. We have a proven track record not only in groundbreaking discovery, but in translating that discovery into real-world impact through commercialization, clinical innovation, and improved care for patients here in Canada and around the world. Our partnership is one of strength and alignment. It attracts the very best scientists, educators, and clinicians to Ontario and fuels a collaborative ecosystem that is second to none. We're also fortunate to share a generous community of philanthropists, many of whom are here today, whose support continues to drive both of our institutions to new heights. This initiative is exciting, it's ambitious, and incredibly timely. It builds on the fact that our institutions are magnets for talent from across Ontario, Canada, and internationally. It also builds on the efforts that we undertook last year in concert with the federal government to increase the number and value of scholarships and funding supports for the nearly 2,000 early career researchers currently engaged across our institutions. We are so grateful for the province of Ontario's support and presence here today. Thank you. It's part of a larger overall need to strengthen facilities and funding of Ontario's growing health research system. With our ongoing efforts to attract the best and the brightest minds to help improve the health outcomes of Canadians, we are continuing to prove why U of T and UHN remain among the top-ranked medical institutions in the world. And together with government, academia, philanthropy, and industry all aligned, we can bring the world's top scientific talent to Toronto, build the infrastructure that's required to support their work, and ensure that Canada continues to lead in solving the most pressing health challenges of our time. Thank you so much. And with that, I'll turn it back to Kevin.
Thank you, Dean Robinson. That concludes the formal portion, as they say, of our program today. Just before closing, a special thank you to the many volunteer governors in the room today, from our board at UHN, at the UHN Foundation, and the Princess Margaret Foundation. The backbone of our system is about voluntary local governance, so we really hear from our communities. Very grateful that you're all here. The remarkable philanthropists who were introduced earlier today by Julie, thank you. Thank you to you and your family. We know you have many choices, and we see this investment as one which we will demonstrate return on. I also would like to recognize Dr. Janet Ressant, who chairs the Board Research Committee, a remarkable scientist in her own right and the leader of one of Canada's most preeminent science organizations. Stay tuned for a week from now. The big days are coming for the Gairdner Foundation. In closing, while this has been a little bit of a more lengthy program than usual, I apologize for that, but we were whispered in our ear, we need to get Premier Ford to sit down for more than 30 seconds. He hasn't done so since the beginning of the trade challenges. So Premier Ford, it was a forced rest for you. We're very impressed, and we want to thank you, Minister Jones and Minister Quinn. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Could I ask the speakers to please come to the stage for a Canada Leads photograph. Enjoy your day. Thank you, everyone.